Okay, so we're gonna install this YIKATOO bumper on a 2012 Toyota Tundra Rock Warrior today. And this is basically all the pieces laid out. We got our nice 3D jigsaw puzzle here, and there's plenty of videos on how to remove these bumpers, but I'm gonna try to capture at least a few steps as to how to do this. So use a plastic pry tool to very gently pop out these underneath the headlight little panels here. They're delicate, so be gentle. So I got one of these bicycle tire removal tools. Maybe this will be just the thing. Maybe it'll snap right in half. We'll see. Haven't been changing bicycle tires much lately anyways. Doesn't seem to want to go. Yeah. No bueno. Seems like the pick was the right tool for the job.
I thought you had to...
Okay, so those are off and we set them aside. These will probably break. I had 2 broken ones already. So some other people were telling me that the bumper should be bolted onto the upper valence. I mean, part of the reason I'm changing my bumper is it's like falling off anyways. It looks like it's just held on by a couple of these little plastic detents, so thanks dealership. Been happy with the truck, with everything else, but I'm finding a few hacky things here and there from the last owner. And so on a Rock Warrior, if you haven't lost your 10mm, you better go find it, because you're gonna need it for taking out this bolt. And be sure to unplug your fog lights if you have them on your bumper. That's behind this little plastic part. So this screws out. This is pretty much just hanging. I gotta take the other one out and unplug the other fog lamp too. So this is the other side. Just getting this plastic slotted screw undone. I already got this bolt up here taken out, or I should say more like a sheet metal screw. That's a Phillips or a 10mm. So we'll see if we can get this bumper off. All right, and the bumper's off. Thing's looking better already. Might just leave it like this. But now we'll actually start taking off the solid part of the bumper and getting our new YIKATOO on. So now we'll take off these few remaining nuts. These two, these two, these two. So this is what it looks like without that crossbar on. So now this support needs to come off. So we got a 10mm here and a couple on this brace. Now we're gonna remove these brackets that held on the brackets that were underneath the headlights. Just a couple bolts holding these on. And just so you know, this is what it's gonna look like before you're gonna take your bumper off. So there's a little cap here that needs to come off. This nut, this bolt down here. So you got a couple options of how to get the bumper part off. I've just been sneaking a 1/2 inch drive 14mm from the top here and from the bottom for the lowest one. You could, it looks like, get these bolts off from inside the bumper and then take this aluminum part off, but I'm gonna try and skip that step. I should probably be using a breaker bar, but this is an SK 1/2 inch wrench, which is probably equivalent to like a Harbor Freight breaker bar. And we got a good Dowie dot German socket. So it's working out. I got them all soaked with WD. Don't strip these. Don't make your life miserable. Okay, so we got the bumper off with much ado. It's just those 4 bolts there and those 4 bolts there. We get those soaking with more penetrating oil so it's easier to get the new one on. So now we got to take off these caps now that the bumper's completely off, so we can get a little bracket in behind there and bolt that on. So I've been using my hook tool to get these out. They have not been agreeing with me a lot. They're kind of just breaking, but we're not going to use them for the new bumper install anyways, so do what you want. Mine are just kind of breaking off. So, and how this works is this is going to kind of like peekaboo through there, and then you're going to install this bracket here onto that, and make sure the flat part, not the nuts, but the flat side is going towards the outside of your truck frame. So that's what it looks like when it's done. I just got it snugged up because I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to adjust that a little bit later, because this doesn't look perfectly flat. So we might need a little wiggle room to work with later. Okay, so both of these are on. Okay, so now we got these brackets on. You can just see how they're using the short bolt, washer, washer, lock washer, nut. So we have the winch mount on. I'm not installing a winch, so that's just going to be what it is. Okay, so now if we get our winch plate on, I think it's pretty obvious that these are gonna go on here like that, and then we'll get our middle section on. Okay, so we got the L brackets on the inside of this outer bumper here, and so now we can start putting the wings on. You can just see the LEDs are installed. All the hardware comes right in the box. It's pretty self-explanatory. But I'm gonna get everything basically like snugged up and then tighten it down when I got it where I want it. Okay, so we're up to the second wing already. I'm installing it while the first one's already on. I've seen people do it where they install it before they put the center one on, but for ease of adjustment, I'm doing it while this one's on. So here you can see I'm bolting on this last wing to this middle bumper assembly. There's 4 bolts. I'm just using the remaining hardware. Not sure if it makes a difference if you use the long or short. I think either will be fine as long as you have clearance to tighten it down. All right, well, this is the final product. I'd say overall it looks pretty good. I still have some adjustment to do, which I think can be notoriously tedious. Yeah, you could spend all day jiggling this thing around, get it where you want it. I'm just gonna start driving it. I'll probably end up wiring up these lights later. But yeah, that is the YIKATOO bumper install.